I've gotten some very positive feedback from the user community about the speed at which we're able to deploy new functionality within EASYProcess. And there have been instances where I've gotten a request in the morning and by that afternoon it's in production.
Let's start with the user. So from the user, I will go to employee, and these are all the things I can do. Of course, what I am going to show is the time entry. Clicking on time entry will by default take me to my current pay period, which happens to be 5/11 to 5/24. I can fill these details out, or I can basically start with the default if we have any default set. By clicking on use default, it brings you what you have set up as a default for this user. User is themselves responsible to manage this, and it is per user basis. Here you can set up all the details about every field that you want in the time card, along with the dates. Sorry, the hours for Monday to Friday, like that. I can click on this button, and that will allow me. That will basically take me back to my screen here, and say that now you are editing default settings. So in a sense, use the same screen, and you say change the date to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you're not working on a particular date. You are working in the default mode right now. So full control to manage your defaults. Going back to the time entry. So here I can go to use defaults and say that, okay, I would like to start from the default. It copies, gives you the message, and it brings you back. Again, you are in current pay period. Everything is filled in. Now from here, I want to show more ways to fill in the time. Okay. So let me reset this. Okay. By reset, it clears out everything. Gives you a warning. If you take it, say yes, it clears out everything. You can also go back and look at your past pay period. And if you want to use one of those pay periods to copy to your current pay period, you can just click this button, and it will basically copy everything from that old data into this new data. So I showed you the default. I showed you going back to history and bringing the time from there. And of course, you can start from the ground up and say, I want to look up the company. This is 00, your company master lookup. Then I can go to the job and say, okay, it's fully searchable. Look for anything which is the job. These are all real-time JDE search. So let's say I want to use 5400. Now time, the type of the time that I am entering is by default. We have like 5 different things to select from here. If you happen to have some specific type, you can always click on more. Just to show you another way we go. So you can have like a favorite 5 list for the user, and then take them to JDE if that is not enough. This is all PDBA code from JDE. So give me all holidays, or give me anything which vacation. It basically pulls up everything. So if they have some specific job type, they can use from the the PDBA code. So you can have that all filled in here, and just in case, have this lookup. Cost code lookup, again, just like that, I can just look for by any description, or if I happen to know my branch or business unit, I can look for that. And the cost code is one. And again, just to show you some variation of how we can do, by default, we don't let you type the job number. Just to show you that you can have it this way also, or you can have this way also. So we can open both fields, we can keep both fields however you want to. So here now I can, again, as I said, I can enter, again, there is some check for the error also if I enter anything, because without entering any time, it will check. There is not time to add. But you can also have more validations if you don't want to let them enter more than 8 hours or something like that. That can be implemented too. We just have simple validation which says that it should be a number, and then you are good. And then finally, I can just say add time. And this is how we can add time too. Let me reset it. So at this time, I will start with the default. Say, for example, the last 2 days, you don't want to use, just say that, okay, I used 2 days, and for the last 2 days, I want to enter vacation. So here I can go and say, and submit button here. Basically, they are disabled; they cannot be clicked again. And there's your workflow history there. You can always go back and see that who is changing this work. So it's basically saying that this has been submitted. Manager will get email, and as a user, you can also see kind of what kind of time you're looking at. This can have much more detail if you want, but just to give an idea. And also you have the workflow history on the top showing that what action is being taken